Hello, welcome to another safety update with me, Sam, safety supervisor here at Meiborg and Silver Arrow, if you're on that fleet. But I just want to say thank you again for taking time out of your busy day to watch this. I've been getting some great feedback. Again, if you have questions, comments, want me to cover something else, let me know. I'm all ears, okay? You got my contact information. A lot of you have all of my contact information. Some of you I wish didn't have my contact information, but you do. I'm just kidding, okay? It's just a joke. Relax, okay? There's only one of you I wish didn't. Anyways, moving on. All right, so what I want to talk about today real quick is everybody's favorite subject, and that is technology, okay? Now, if you are on the Motive app, you have a tablet that looks like this, okay? Nothing new, nothing crazy, but it's just a tablet to run your ELDs. However, there is probably something on these tablets that you don't even know about, and I might just blow your mind today. So, as you know, sometimes we have to run broker loads. Try not to a lot of the times, but sometimes we just get into these areas where we just have to, okay? So sometimes you have to run broker loads. And if you've ran a broker load, you know that there are going to be times where you have to download certain apps so that they can track you. Okay, it's not for nefarious reasons most of the time, but it's just so that they have an idea of where their freight is. Okay, I get it. We do the same with Motive. We just like to know that kind of stuff. So a lot of the times though in the past, they've asked you to download that onto your personal cell phone so that they can track you. And I get it. No one likes Big Brother. No one wants to be tracked, but at the same time, you have to do it. So what we have done now is on these tablets, we actually have downloaded some of the main tracking apps so that you don't have to download them onto your cell phone, okay? Now you might be saying, hey, look, Sam, there's nothing on the screen that says tracking app or anything. You are correct, very observant of you. Right now, usually most of you guys, your tablets probably look like this with just the Motive and the Weigh My Truck app directly on there. You might have the EDS one on there. You might have a bar, I don't know, but typically a lot of the tablets look like this. So you're saying, how and where are these tracking apps? Good question, about to show you. So what you need to do is you need to swipe up with your finger, okay? You just literally touch the screen and swipe up. Bam. All of a sudden we got a bunch more apps here now. And as you'll notice, they might be scattered, but right now we got Carrier Link, we have Trucker Tools, we have Drive View, we have Macro Point. Those are kind of the four main tracking apps out there. I know there's some other ones, but those are kind of the main four ones. So if you are required to have those, we have them now directly on the tablet. They should be on your tablet. If they're not, let me know and we'll get it set up so that we can get these on your tablet. So again, how do you get to these? You take your finger and you swipe up. Okay, that's all you got to do. Now don't take your finger and place it on there because then you get this screen. Okay. And then you start panicking, and then I get the phone call saying, my tablet's broken, I need a new one. No, you don't. So if you ever do get into this screen, just tap it, okay? Just tap it just like that. You're back to normal, okay? So to get to those apps, you just take your finger and swipe up like that, okay? And there they are. They're right there on your tablet. I might have just blown your mind. I might be your favorite person here now at the company. Might. I don't know. But hopefully that helps you. If these aren't on your tablet, let me know. We'll get them put on your tablet. That way you don't have to have them on your personal cell phone. If there are apps that they're requiring you to download that are not on the tablet, let me know that as well, because I know there's new tracking ones that pop up all the time. We can dial into these tablets even when they're in your truck, and we can upload new apps to them. So if you don't have them on there, let us know. We can get them. If a broker is requiring you to use Carrier Link, Trucker Tools, Drive View, or Macro Point, boom, they're already on your tablet. Feel free to use that, okay? If you want to still use your cell phone, that's fine too. Don't really care, but if you don't want to, they should be on your tablet if you are on the new Motive ELD. If you're still running those old Garmin tablets, they're not going to be on there. So that might be a little more motivation for you to get the Motive tablet set up so that you can have that stuff on the tablet instead of on your cell phone. So cool, cool, excellent. Moving on to the Dashcam film room. Okay, here we are again. It is nighttime because daylight savings time. Did we actually save daylight when we fell back? Does anybody know if we saved daylight? If we did, let me know because I don't know. But as you know, it's dark now. It's 5 o'clock. We're already in the dark. So here we are. A lot of our videos will probably be in dark now because darkness has consumed our lives. Anyways, we'll be more cheery after this. So anyways, here we go. We've got, we're at night. We're on a 4-lane highway, it looks like. And we'll just hit play and see what happens here. So we're driving down the road. We got a truck coming up to our left. We got barriers or a guardrail on our right there. And all of a sudden we've got a deer. We've got a deer. We actually got a buck right in front of us there. Oh boy, this is becoming pretty common, as you are well aware. That when the temperatures start dropping, the deer like to get up, run around. They're in the rut right now. If you don't know what that is, I'll let you Google it later. But the deer are moving, the deer are active, and all the corn and everything is getting combined up, so they're just kind of running around like crazy. And as you can see, a lot of the times, for some reason, they enjoy the feel of pavement underneath of their hooves. Is it hooves? Hooves? Heaves? Whatever. But they apparently like to run on pavement. I know, I've already hit one this year myself with my pickup truck, so it happens. So what can we do in this situation? Well, this driver did things correctly. So obviously the big thing that you don't want to do is you don't want to panic. Okay, that's first and foremost. You don't want to panic. This driver appeared not to panic. He looked like he was trying to get out of the way of the deer, and he actually ended up not hitting the deer, which is good. You know, Bambi lives to fight another day. But you don't want to panic, you don't want to slam on your brakes, and you don't want to swerve. Those are the three big things that you don't want to do when you come face to face with a deer on the road. And this driver did try to get out of the way a little bit. He did turn the wheel a little bit, and he did hit the brakes a little hard, and we're going to talk about that in just a second. But all in all, not a bad maneuver to make sure that you don't hit the deer. As you saw, it was a buck, and I don't know what would have happened if the antlers would have gone through the grill, hit the radiator. We could have had a big deal with that. And also, just pointing out here, as you can see up in the top left-hand corner there, that is the driver's cell phone with the GPS open, and it looks like it was resting on something, and it fell off. So initially, I was wondering what that was, but it was just the GPS, and it fell out of a bracket. So make sure if you do have a GPS or using one out there, it's secured, because that could have been distracting, might have taken the driver's eyes off the road for a second, and when he brought his eyes back to the road, because you see it falls down, and when he brings his eyes back to the road, there's Bambi. So actually it looks like Bambi's big brother, Bruno or something, I don't know. So anyway, so just make sure that when you come in contact or when you come face to face with the deer out there, that you don't swerve, okay? Because we don't need these trailers and these trucks and the equipment to tip over, and you don't slam on your brakes. Now, I told you I was going to be talking about that here in a second. So what did unfortunately happen was when we see the deer here, and we see the deer, we hit the brakes, and you see that little jarring motion. What happened was we hit the brakes pretty hard because out of instinct, I get it, but unfortunately the load in the trailer shifted, and it shifted forward, and it was a pretty heavy load. And unfortunately, because of this, the load now looks, or the trailer I should say, now looks like this. There's some pretty significant damage to the front of that trailer because we did slam on our brakes. I get it that it's kind of a natural reaction. When you see a deer like that, you hit the brakes. I did when I saw the deer. I know that that's what happened here. He hit the brakes kind of hard. Now, he didn't hit it hard enough to lock the brakes up and jackknife the trailer, which is good, but at the same time, still hit the brakes a little too hard with the cargo that he was carrying. Now, if you're carrying a trailer full of pillows, we're not having this conversation. But keep in mind, know what you're pulling, okay? If you do have something heavy in the back of in your trailer, if you're pulling something heavy, just know that if you slam on the brakes, you're probably, that load is probably gonna shift. So be very conscious of that. And as you're driving at night, keep that in the back of your mind. If I do have to hit the brakes, this load is gonna shift, and I could do some significant damage to the trailer. Now, we don't have an estimate yet on how much that trailer will cost, but there's probably a good chance that it would have cost less to repair the truck after hitting a deer than it is going to cost fixing the trailer. I say that, I know that we got some animal lovers out there, and I don't want to sound mean about that, but at the same time, it is what it is. It's kind of the consequences of playing on the road. But just be very conscious of what you're pulling, how heavy it is, and if you do slam on the brakes, what are going to be some of the consequences of that? Because as we could see with that jolt, the load did shift and it did damage the trailer fairly significantly. So just be aware, the deer are out there. They are running around, and at nighttime, you just don't have a lot of reaction time to it. So make sure, just keep it in the back of your mind. Always be scanning, always be looking. If you got your brights on, you can usually see their eyes from a ways away. Always be scanning though at night, because they are out there, they're running around, and they are a nuisance when it comes to the road. So, and when you do encounter one, don't slam on the brakes, don't panic, and for goodness sakes, do not swerve, okay? That is the worst thing that you could do, is try to swerve out of the way. All of a sudden, your trailer gets up on the two wheels or on the one side, and boom, you're over with, all right? Just to avoid a deer, it's not worth it, okay? I want you guys to be safe out there. And so when you see animals of any kind on the road, I know this sounds mean, but don't make any elusive moves to get around them, okay? So that's that. That is just something to keep in the back of your mind, because like I said, there's a ton of animals running around right now out there. So anyways, thank you very much for staying tuned to this. I want to call them episodes, but I don't know if they're episodes or just special videos. I don't know, whatever. But as always, drive safe out there, okay? And I will talk to you guys next week.